trying to bring in. They call them transplants, like people who
don't live there.
Don't live there.
They're not natives.
Yeah, and they're just and they're kind of tool bags. And this dude's against it. He's like, nah. He's like, I'm not giving you shit. You're not
Kevin Costner.
He's like, you're not getting shit. Nothing. Jack shit. He's like, and the guy tried he started taking this land or whatever, and he's like, and the river was running through it, and the place is called Riverdale or some bullshit like that. And he in one episode they blew up the river and rerouted it.
The developer did.
No, Kevin Costner did.
It was on his land.
Wait, what's the time period?
It's the present day.
Current.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Because the land, Montana's kind of lawless somewhat. It's got laws.
It's
but
big, and there's not a lot there.
There's not a lot of people. I mean, there's more people in the state of Delaware than there is in Montana.
And then he's also feuding with the Indians, too, because the Indian reservations, they think they still have rights to, his land.
They do.
They do.
No matter what.
But
we stole that shit from him.
They're trying to, get it back.
That's so screwy.
But...
Isn't it so screwy that the Indians didn't have the concept of land ownership? You know what I mean?
They did, though. They had tribes.
But
they had territories, right?
Yeah, but there's so many different tribes.
Their concept of land was totally different than ours.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
It was a territory, and Mother Nature was Mother Nature.
Yes.
And
but didn't the tribes feud with each other if they infringed?
It wasn't kumbaya or anything like that. But
I thought the reason why they lost was technology and it's because of the ancient Greeks, because they were city-states, they were all their own entities, and then one big power.
No, they lost because there was guns.
Well, and disease.
Disease, yeah.
Well, disease
brought
was
by the white man.
Yeah, yo, man, back the fuck off.
That's true, though.
No, it's true. Yeah.
Yeah, we were dirty bastards back then, man.
Yeah.
It's here you go. Here's some blankets. Don't mind the smallpox on there. So I've been busy.
Yeah, catching up on how many fucking shows have you watched everything on Netflix so far?
I'm almost at the end.
Of what?
Of Netflix.
Of the internet.
I'm gonna clean my desktop. All right. Anything specific you guys want to talk about, or just
how billionaires are fucking? I can't stand any of them.
Yeah. Which one? The one that was
the New York, the fucking sex trafficking one, and then this is nowhere near as big as deals. But I told him last week, Jeff Bezos got a divorce, right? In the divorce, he gave his wife $38 billion, and he's still the fucking richest guy in the world.
Yeah, well,
you give $38 billion and you're still the fucking richest guy in the world. That fucking pisses me off.
Well, he earned it.
He earned it. He started this shit out of his garage.
I'm not hating on him.
But it just pisses me off. And the fact that he doesn't pay that much in taxes still pisses me off.
He's a big winner, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no shit.
He's playing the game.
He's playing the game. He's
not just playing the game. He's rewriting the rules.
He controls the game now.
That's
Takes money to make money.
He's a dungeon master.
Dungeon master.
You guys ready?
Nice tie in there, John. Did you see Spider-Man?
I did not.
Saw it twice.
I saw it just once, but still, we can't talk about it then.
No, you can talk about it.
You guys are gonna hate some of the things I gotta say. All right, you guys ready?
Because how much shit you watched?
Exactly. Peanut butter and jelly.
Well,
Peanut butter and jelly.
You've been on vacation since fucking third Wednesday last week.
Wednesday night, yeah.
Yeah, suck it.
All right, you ready? Are you ready?
Poor Jamie's over here working 12-hour shifts. You're fucking sitting at home on the couch.
I'll survive.
Jamie will survive. Jamie will survive when he's got that empire of his. It's that when he's got 40 residents that he purveys.
That's what I'm working for.
Exactly.
That's exactly right.
All right, let's get the show on the road. Hello and welcome to this week's episode of the Nick, John, and Jamie Show. I'm John.
I'm Nick.
And I am Jamie.
All together.
Again.
I love it. I'm very happy.
Let's hope this episode doesn't get taken off.
Well, I'm looking down and I hit record.
Yeah.
Look,
I wasn't talking about that, but yeah, we got that too.
Oh, yeah, dude. That was crazy. Did Nick tell you about that?
We got to talk about it.
Did you rescue it? I know.
No. So I don't know. This is what I suspect. All right. So I get an email at the NJJ show at gmail.com. I get an email from YouTube. Now we don't do video, but we just for to cover our bases and sort of set the flag. I post the audio only versions of our show on YouTube, along with a bunch of different other sites, and I get an email from YouTube that says somebody has filed. I don't know if it's a complaint that says that I'm violating some copyright. Our company's participating in some copyright infringement. Well, I looked up the company because they call out who the company is. It's a company out of Madrid, and right away I'm like, this stinks.
Right there.
This smells like a bunch of bullshit. But part of the notification states that YouTube says, like, if you want to counter this complaint, first of all they take the episode off for 90 days minimum. All right, and it's episode 70. By the way, you can get it on Spotify, iTunes.
You're on Spotify?
Yeah. Stitcher, Spotify, iTunes. You can get it anywhere you want. So if you're missing out on it because you subscribe to our YouTube channel, yeah, you can get it on a bunch of different outlets. Which is another reason it raised an eyebrow. It's like it's on all these different outlets. Why YouTube?
Yeah, like like this. There's like an algorithm and whatever.
They probably have maybe an algorithm, maybe a piece of software that just scans for
certain flag words.
Exactly.
Or whatever.
So on that one, we had Aladdin, Brightburn, and I forget what else we called out. And even in the show
it's
title,
from Madrid, so Aladdin, Middle East.
God,
that's a stretch.
God damn, Nick.
Stretch.
Shit.
you need to open up a geography book because Madrid and
shit, man.
that's Spain.
Dude, call me out. Fuck, dude.
Anyway. So I was like, what am I going to do? What should I do? Should I counter this? Should I do it? And then I talked to some people and they were like, do nothing.
Throw
you got it on all those other outlets. Because what happens is part of the what they can do is just get you tied up in some type of legality, right? And then capitalize on the legal aspect. It'd be like, all right, we're going to take you to court. It's almost like an extortion thing. And so I was like, at first it jarred me, man, because I'm looking at this email. I was like, what the and then I was angry because I was like, F you guys, man. It's some
you almost wanted to call him out.
I almost wanted to go back at him, just stick it to him, and then expose him and blow him up and everything like that. And maybe I will at a later date, but I don't want to get into it because I think that's the whole point for someone to respond and get into it. And I don't even want to mention their names because that might be part of the ploy too.
No, don't do that.
To bring them some notoriety.
Fuck them.
You know what I mean?
It's almost like a bait.
But at the very end, I was like, we got our first takedown.
Hey, we arrived.
That's right.
We have arrived. Cheers to that.
Yeah, cheers to that. So anyway, that was a little bit of a kerfuffle. More than I thought it was good. It was less of a big deal than I thought it was initially, but interesting to say the least.
It just got under your skin a little bit.
Yeah.
It's all right. It happens.
Yeah. So let's get right into it. Let's get into the box office. Box office.
What was number one?
Spider-Man: Far From Home, $185 million.
Worldwide, it's done almost 5, right? 5 something?
Worldwide, 577.
Where are we at on
Endgame?
Endgame?
They're 277.
So
$2.77 billion.
That's how much?
So how much they off?
They're off by about $11 million.
They're not going to get there.
It's not that much.
I know it's not that much, but how much did it do last weekend?
Let me double check. Hold on. So it's quite a bit. Let's see. It's one of those things where I think they're going to just creep over the edge.
It depends on how long.
2.8 billion for Avatar. I'm sorry, 2.78 billion for Avatar. 2.77 billion for Avengers Endgame.
So how was that?
So they're $11 million off.
Yeah,
$11 million.
I know, but how many? What did they do last weekend?
That's a good question.
Because that would be a good
benchmark weekend.
That's a good point.
Last weekend, I got it for April 26th.
Just last weekend. I'm not looking for the whole.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think they did $3 million.
All right, if they do $3 million, then they might be able to do it. I thought.
Yeah, July 5th through the 7th, $3 million.
But that was also July 4th, so you got to think. I don't know if it's out another 12 weeks.
Well, you know what? Let's put it out there to all our millions of subscribers.
Rally up, son.
Come on.
Well, we don't want to get this taken off the air, too. Relax there, John.
We'll just get the Disney executives to back us for promoting the movie.
Hashtag Titanic was better.
That's right.
Fuck Avatar.
Yeah, so that's some good stuff.
Oh,
so
I do have. Could I say
go
one
for it.
thing? I have one bit of news.
Yeah.
Guess who's jumping on the Ghostbusters movie?
I did see this. Let me think.
Come on. It's a perfect fit, I think.
It's a youngin', right?
Yeah, well, not young-in.
Younger.
Younger. Yes. It's a perfect fit for these movies, I would think.
You're going to say it. No. I saw it. It was on the other day. It was on that comic book thing.
Paul Rudd.
Yeah,
That's right.
That's right.
He's not that young. He's 50.
I know, but he looks fucking young. The guy old age, man.
Right.
But he did a video. It was really cool. He was out front of, I guess, the
firehouse.
The firehouse, and he's like, guess who's jumping on board?
Yeah.
We start filming
It was on that
this
comic
year
book,
or something like that.
Yeah, that's brilliant.
I think it might be out the end of next summer or something like that.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
Maybe probably next Halloween, I would assume, leading into it.
That would be a good call. I can't remember. I think the first one came out in the summer, right?
It did.
It's it. I mean, if they're just filming now, I can't imagine it making it till Memorial, would it?
Good question. Comicbook.com.
Well, I guess some movies can. If it's not a huge production, it might be able to.
Yeah, hopefully. I mean,
but he's a good fit, though, wouldn't you think?
He's
it's
a great
You got
fit.
Bill Murray, you got Dan Aykroyd, you got these legends of comedy, and then you got him, who is just like he's so easygoing in his comedic performance.
I think he's, to your point, I think he's a good fit because if you look at the way he fit into the whole Avengers ensemble, he's very unassuming as far as like his...
Exactly.
He's not... You can't have two Tony Starks in the room, right? You can't have two Thors in the room.
Two Captain Americas.
Their personalities are so big, and Ant-Man's personality is so unique and so understated that it still drives the story. It's still charming. It still adds.
But that's what he always does. He always has that character. He's never been that over-the-top personality.
Yeah.
And I think that would add well. I guess he's going to be like the next group of Ghostbusters or whatever. One of the son-in-laws. Who fucking knows?
Yeah, either way, it's going to be good.
Yeah.
It's a good choice.
Yeah.
I hope it's going to be
It's
good.
better than Ben Affleck as a Batman choice.
Are they going to get? Are they going to get what's his
That's
face?
true.
Dreyfus back?
What? No, wait, it's Dan Aykroyd.
Well, he played. Who's the little?
You got,
fucking guy?
I know
Howard
you're talking about.
Rick Moranis.
Rick Moranis.
I heard he's done movies, so
He's been done for a long time since his wife died.
So I don't know if they're going to get him back. I know Sigourney Weaver's coming back for this.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think they're going to get him back. That would be cool.
Yeah,
but I
it
don't
would
think
be.
they're going to. It's going to happen. So, Toy Story 4 did $34 million in the box office. Have you guys seen it yet?
Is Paul Rudd going to be Oscar?
I was like, what?
That would be the timing would be wrong. But hey,
Wait, I don't know.
Yeah, he'd be too old.
How old was Oscar when the last one came out? It was like 4 or 5,
It was in the 80s.
30 years. Well, he looks fucking young. Who knew? If you didn't know how old Paul Rudd was,
I
if he was
would've-
sitting in front of you,
Yeah,
you
I would have said late 30s.
yeah.
That would work.
Fucker
That
looks
came
like
out.
yeah.
That came out
probably
like
looks younger than I.
89.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah, it's 30 years.
Yeah.
Anyway, I did know somebody that saw it. I didn't see it. Said it was fucking fantastic.
What? Toy Story 4.
Yep. Said it was great.
Really?
The kids saw it and Brian saw it. So it was awesome.
Really?
Got 98 on Rotten Tomatoes, man.
So it was good.
They did it again, man. I said it with 3 where I was like, meh, all right, you're going to keep pulling that taffy. All right, keep going. And then I was like real skeptical going into Toy Story 3 and blown away when I left. And I was like, God damn
It's
it.
toys that come to life in a charming, fun way.
Said it was
I know.
How could you do that wrong? And you have great voices for him.
It's true.
Said it was also like the ending was like kind of open for like another.
Of course. This is that's going to
Disney.
make a fucking ton of money. It probably already has made a ton of money.
Yeah.
How much did it make so far?
Did $34 million last week, and that was, I think, the second week in the box.
It's hilarious because it's like chump,
worldwide. It did $651
fuck,
million.
man?
that's like chump change for me.
That shit, that Disney's writing that check, dude.
Yeah.
And it probably cost what, $120 million to make that fucking movie?
I don't know what the budget was, but they're pretty expensive. It was probably like maybe 100. Yeah,
in Disney
probably.
terms,
That sounds
there was a
about right.
fart in the wind.
Come
dude.
on, who are you talking fucking about? I might have forgot where Madrid was, but shit.
Yeah. So what was third in the box office? Third in the box office was Yesterday. That was the movie. It was
Beatles movie.
Yes.
I did want to see that. I mean, I'm not going to go see it in the movies, but it does have a unique storyline.
I like
to
the
it.
Beatles, so I would.
Who doesn't like the fucking Beatles?
There's a lot of people that don't like the Beatles.
I love the Beatles.
Yeah, it was.
I like the
20
people. I like the people who argue about like Beatles versus the Stones. I'm like,
please, they're two different animals, man.
exactly.
Come on.
You can't argue that.
But they're actually. I got confused because I was like, was that the movie? Even though it said Yesterday in the title, I just saw the trailer when I went and saw Spider-Man: Far From Home.
Oh, you're talking about the
Bruce Springsteen one.
That's another. But that's more of that's actually based on a true story.
Yeah, that looks good
this
too.
Kid from I don't know where.
He's
They didn't
Indian,
really-
but he grew up in London.
Yeah, and then I think it looks like London, right?
Or somewhere in England. He's got
And
a
then
British
they
accent.
started making fun, like he started getting into Bruce,
Yeah.
and his parents getting mad at him because it's not the right type of music. His friends make jokes at him because it doesn't even rhyme and all that shit. It does look like a good movie.
They're basically shitting on Bruce Springsteen, and this guy's like,
The boss.
yeah, and they do a lot of things with the production to where they'll like bring in type and animated text as he's got his headphones on and he's listening to Born to Run or whatever. And I'm not a big Bruce fan. Like, I think he's a great songwriter, but I was never into the whole, it's same thing with Dylan. I think the lyricist and everything like that. I'm like, yeah, he's a poet and a half, but
Yeah, like I
can't stand the voice.
think like Dylan, like Hendrix made his shit better, and then Manfred Mann made that one song better that Bruce wrote. Blinded by the light.
Yeah.
And then Bruce is like, he was one of those guys too, though, because that was an interview.
Yeah.
And it was like,
on Stern.
No, well, they always like talk about like.
He never interviewed Bruce.
No,
did he?
no, not yet. But that's right. Gary he's like obsessed with Bruce. Baba
Bruce?
Booey.
Yeah.
He's obsessed with him. And he was saying that apparently his career like was really slow. Like it like was a bomb for a little bit. And
Bruce's was?
Bruce's was.
In
and
the
then
late 70s.
And then it just like started like slowly picking up.
Yeah.
Like Frampton was another weird one where his shit wasn't that popular until his live album. And
Yeah, Frampton live. Oof.
And that's fucking
Holy
weird.
cow.
So that's like a weird thing to happen.
Yeah, well, it's like movies sometimes. Sometimes they bomb at the box office, and then they become these cult classics.
Well, it's like Caddyshack. I think Caddyshack bombed at the box office. Don't quote me on that, but
Yeah.
I don't think it did well in the beginning. Now it's like considered a classic. It's like, really?
Yeah, well, I mean, even like Big Lebowski too.
Same thing.
You're like, damn, man, that movie is awesome, and then you find out what its box office was, and you're like, holy shit, dude, nobody saw
Well, then
it.
you get some Rotten Tomatoes.
Well,
tool, like,
that's
shitting
another
on
thing.
it.
Rotten Tomatoes, some movies, when they come out, the Rotten Tomatoes are horrible. Then they become a cult classic, and over the years, critics change their views, or other critics change their views.
Yeah.
It's like, it's crap. That's why the critics thing, I don't put no stock in it anymore, but I always will put stock in what fans and people think, because some of these movies that do bad in the box office doesn't mean they're not going to do good when it comes to the video, because let's be honest, we're all not going to go see every fucking movie that comes out. Like, we just named a couple movies I would love to see. I'm not going to go see it because I'm going
to go see Spider-Man this week.
You should.
I am.
It's a good one.
I am going to see it.
And I got to ask
Toy
you
Story
something.
won't make it.
I got to ask you something.
go ahead.
I don't want to ruin it for Jamie, but do you think that second end credit sets up Secret Wars?
Well, it doesn't. It doesn't set up the second end credit. Doesn't set up the villains as not Secret Wars, Secret Invasion.
Secret Invasion, that's what I meant. I'm sorry.
It's like,
Could there be two factions of that group?
Yeah, man. There could be. And it could set up, we're just going to spoil that part for you, Jamie.
If that's okay.
Yeah, I kind of figured because they're on the internet saying that the Tony Stark that died in Endgame could possibly be. I think they're really reaching, but
no, I think that's
possibly could be a scroll.
No.
Okay, so on that tip,
I kind of figured.
On that tip, there is let's get into it when we talk about the movie review because we're going to talk about Spider-Man: Far From Home. But there's something to that. You
even said through the movie, which was crazy. We're sitting there watching the movie, and he goes, "He doesn't seem right.
Yeah.
Seems off."
Seemed like Samuel L. Jackson's acting wasn't great, and the dialogue wasn't great.
Like how he normally is coming off as Nick Fury.
Like if someone was to imitate Samuel L. Jackson, that's what the portrayal in the movie would be. And then I'm just going to say it. Spoilers. There's going to be a spoiler-filled episode on Spider-Man Endgame and a bunch of other stuff. They do an end credit scene where you see Maria Hill and Samuel L. Jackson driving in their car, and then they transform into Skrulls. And you think that they're Samuel L. Jackson the whole time. And then I was like, God damn it.
Then he gets on the phone or some kind of weird phone, and he's talking to somebody, telling them how it went down and what went down. And then you flash to the person that's on the receiving end. It's Samuel L. Jackson sitting what it appears to be on a beach.
Yeah.
Okay, then he hangs up the phone, and the beach fades away, and it's like looks like kind of like a holodeck type deal.
Yeah.
And he gets up. It's Samuel L. Jackson stretching his legs, and he walks out on this ship, big feet, and there's a bunch of Skrulls just walking around. So is he in charge of the Skrulls? Did Captain Marvel recruit him after Endgame?
They're supposed to find him
a home, right?
A home. So
and
that's
I think
probably
that's
why
what they're doing.
That's why the ship's there, probably.
Yeah,
but she's been spending 20-some fucking years trying to find him a home. More longer than that.
Yeah, but they're trying to get away from the Kree as well.
Yeah, but I guess she recruited Fury after Endgame.
And I think they might be like forming like a little army.
Maybe.
Dude,
if
they had those, what were they called? The Super Scrolls, the ones that could do like, it'd be like a Wolverine with Cyclops.
Yeah,
that was the shit.
Yeah,
they would take over their powers too.
But there was ones that could just only do certain people's, like they could be like Wolverine, but then there was ones that could do like multiples.
Yeah,
and one, which is fucking awesome.
The other end credit scene, I'm not going to tell him what happens in it because I don't want to spoil that for him.
Yeah,
but I will say this. Having other characters from X-Men, the people that played them, it's definitely a possibility now.
Yeah, they lean in on bridging the gap between the Fox acquisition and
it's not a major character, but it's a guy that is a good actor. Yeah, that's what we were talking about. I was like, now that opens the door for it.
Yeah, that's exactly. We're all totally on the same page, Nick. To where it's like, oh, it's so cool that they brought this character in, but the real behind the scenes type of meaning that they brought the character in is that, oh yeah, you're gonna get some of these characters.
He's the first character that has been in both. And Marvel and MCU. That played the same
you're
guy.
Right. Sony has been in a Sony production and is now in a Disney production.
Gotcha.
So, all right, let's burn through this. Yesterday's number 3 at the box office was $10.7 million. Annabelle Comes Home, which is part of the Conjuring series, did $9.7 million.
What?
Annabelle Comes Home.
What?
So, yeah. So Annabelle's this creepy little doll that can basically. It's part of the Conjuring series.
Chucky just come out too?
Yeah.
And that was supposed to be, I don't know.
So the Conjuring, the first Conjuring, it was a spooky as fuck flick. And then I found out Noah's been watching them. Know how I found out Noah watched them?
Your Netflix account. You go on and see what's recently watched, right?
No. I went to check on the boys. It was like 1 o'clock in the morning or
he's
something.
Watching it that late?
No, he's sleeping in Jack's bedroom because he was too scared shitless from watching The Conjuring.
They know why I tell you not to watch it.
Yeah, exactly. It was loaded full of I told you so's the next day. And then Aladdin's still in the top 5 with $7.6 million.
It's gonna do like $800 million.
Oh, dude, that movie's killing.
I'm surprised.
It's over $900 million.
Because you said it was okay. It wasn't great.
You weren't the only one either. It got bashed.
I think it was just part curiosity and tradition, like people, not tradition, but people going there for nostalgic reasons as adults now, and then going for kids. And Will Smith, man, he's a draw from.
I don't
whatever.
think he's as big as draw as he used to be, though.
Maybe not as he
He's
used
a gem,
to be,
dude. He kills it on the internet too.
I know that. I know he does kill it on the internet.
He's got a hell of a social media presence.
I just don't think he's a movie draw like he used to be back.
I think you underestimate his social media thing. I'm telling you,
I'm not underestimating that at all.
That alone, he could lay some fucking turd, and I guarantee it'll do well.
Well, that's Kevin Hart too.
Yeah,
Kevin Hart's. Well, first
His
of all,
social media
Jumanji
presence.
2 trailer, that was fucking funny.
It was.
We'll get into that later, but
Yeah, absolutely.
you brought
Well,
up Kevin Hart and it went in my head. Did you see that?
Yeah,
Well, I'll show it to you afterwards.
I don't have much on the news. I really kind of want to be light on the news this week, and then get into trailers and all the stuff that I've been watching. But Chris Rock is doing a Saw movie.
Is this just the John show now?
and Samuel L. Jackson.
Is he going to be in that movie?
Yeah, it's both of them.
What are they
something
doing?
like
A
that?
Saw movie.
I saw that, yeah.
They're in the Saw movie.
He's producing and directing.
Look that up,
it.
but I saw it's both of them too.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I was like, now granted, he's probably gotten some inspiration from Jordan Peele and all the success that he's had with these horror movies, and is probably like, hey, I'm Chris Rock. I got some dough. I got some clout. Let me throw my hand.
He's a good actor, dude. Pookie, come on, man.
Yeah, dude.
The fuck, that shit was good, dude.
He did a post on Instagram with him sucking on the glass dick, and I think he might have had like a red, white, and blue shirt on. It was like, and he's like, "Happy 4th of July."
Really?
Yeah. Dude, it's Chris Rock being Chris Rock. Chris Rock Saw. So, Saw Chris Rock starring Samuel L. Jackson.
Yep.
Yeah, that popped right up.
No interest. I love both those guys.
I don't like I like the trap puzzle aspect of Saw. Kind of like
Trying to figure
But
something
it's
out.
one of those things that plays out. It's like, dude, you can do it once or twice, but then when you come back to the well, it's already done, dude.
It's like Final Destination.
You can't do Blair Witch 2 and be cool. You know what I mean?
Can't do Titanic 2 either.
No. It only sank once, motherfucker. You can't do a Venom without a Spider-Man.
Well,
Apparently.
they did that.
They did do that. And
Feige was asked that question if he was going to be in 2. And he said, well, that's really up to Sony if they want Spider-Man in it or not. That's
got a lot to choose from.
That's bullshit. Up to Sony, my ass. They ain't giving up Tom Holland.
No, not at all.
Not for their dumbass storylines.
No.
Did you realize, real quick,
Go ahead.
realize Marvel has, I think, released 22 movies, is it?
Yeah.
And I think 21 of them all got rated fresh.
No shit.
Yeah. So, I mean.
Which one didn't? Do you remember?
Maybe the Hulk. They don't remember.
might have been the
They were talking about it on the radio. I
Hulk
think
or
Preston Steve.
Iron Man 3, maybe.
So, no, actually, Iron Man 3, I probably did. I don't know. But still, I mean, that's pretty fucking amazing.
That is astonishing, man. I don't know of any
Good
other movie
storytelling.
company.
Good storytelling.
Yeah, and a fan base that's ravenous.
but the quality. It's because of the quality.
Yeah.
But the other thing about the whole Spider-Man thing, the time limit, I think I told you this, was that 129 minutes was exactly 3,000 minutes through the whole,
Get outta here.
whole MCU. So they were like saying, oh, maybe it's the I love you 3,000 bullshit.
Uh-huh.
But that's not really. It was actually something that...
Just a coincidence?
Just a coincidence.
Still, the heart wants what the heart wants, and I want that to be true. So, movies, or trailers for movies. Mulan.
That looks good.
That does look good. I've never seen
I
the
watched
cartoon,
that. It looks
so-
good.
The
No,
cartoon was
Mulan's
good.
good, dude.
Is
Yeah.
it good? I got to check out the cartoon.
Solid Disney
It
movie.
does look good. It just, if you didn't even know it was a Disney cartoon based, it could be just like an Asian movie.
Yeah.
Way better than fucking Frozen. I'll tell you that much. Mulan's better than fucking Frozen. Are you high?
No, I'm talking about like if
much
you were
is
to
it gonna
convert
make?
something to live action.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I think you got more room there because there's a lot of action in it. Mulan has a lot of action
And
in it.
you will get
Yes.
and you will get a huge Asian audience from Mulan.
Yeah. I mean, there's definitely some. There's lots of karate and lots of martial arts and things are going. I feel like I got to sneeze. It looks big. It looks like a big ass movie, like
production wise. I'm
wise.
sure it was.
And it looks like it's done really artfully. Like in the trailer, I saw that it was like handled delicately, but also big. They're still capturing some of that original essence of this young girl who thinks that she needs to be put in this box of this traditional what a woman needs to be.
Then she becomes like a warrior.
Yeah, and
it's all because her dad he can't. They're called the war.
He can't fight, so he
can't fight, but he's still called the war because he's the only
and she
male.
doesn't want him to die. I got it.
Yeah, and she takes his spot.
Yeah,
nobody realizes it till halfway through, and then she.
He realizes when she wakes up. When he wakes up.
I gotcha.
But the one thing I was curious about, no Mushu, the dragon.
Yeah.
Well, see, okay, but this is why I like it. Like, they made it
believable.
No, where like Aladdin is kind of fucked up. Like, how do you make that live action? It's really difficult to make that live action.
Agreed.
Where Mulan, you could make that live action, and you have stuff to work with here.
They didn't put in the genie in the first Aladdin trailer either.
Yeah, or that, but
go ahead, Nick.
Speaking of live action, what do we all think about the casting of The Little Mermaid?
I'm fine with that. I'm
totally fine with that. I'm not because I'm prejudiced or anything. It's just I always thought of The Little Mermaid as a redhead.
So who's The Little Mermaid?
Yeah, it's a black singer, some girl.
Yeah, I don't know who she is. But then again, I didn't know who played Ariel.
I mean, if you're going to go by what the movie is, I'm just saying, if they're trying to I just feel like they're trying to grab.
It would be like if they made Jasmine blonde haired.
Yes, it's just.
I hear what you're saying.
You know what I mean? I'm not trying to be but it was made
not being a racist or anything.
Well, I think I'll tell you why they probably did that. It's because think of all the Disney characters. They only have one black
Princess of the Frog.
Yeah, and it's not that good, dude.
It's not
they really
mainstream.
well, the problem is they really whoever wrote that half.
I didn't watch it. I never watched it.
It's half-assed is what it is.
Yeah.
Compared to A Little Mermaid, Aladdin, Mulan, it's half-assed. It's thrown together, kind of. It seems like it's very
It's
vanilla.
We all make the same point over and over again. As long as the storytelling's right and the performances are right,
I don't really.
It should be fine. But I hear what you're saying, Nick. It's we don't have racial prejudice. We have our own historical bias prejudice. Right. Like if I was to get even when I saw the first Spider-Man movie, I was like, Flash Thompson's not an Indian dude. And MJ isn't of mixed race because I know MJ from the comics. I know him from the cartoons, and so my brain had to readjust. And then I saw Spider-Man, and then I was I went through the movie, and I was like, it's starting to work. And it's and then I put the storytelling, the directing, the visuals, and everything, pushed all that stuff out of my psyche, and I started to appreciate the storytelling for what it was in front of me, and then. That went away, and then it felt even more natural when Far From Home came out.
I'm not saying I'm not going to go see this. It took me by surprise.
No, I hear you.
It's just a shame that, I feel like it's a grab because, what Jamie's saying, they really don't have any of this.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a difficult one to accomplish, too. Just because of what they have.
I did with Aquaman. You didn't like it, though. I thought it was good.
Yeah, Aquaman was another one. I was looking at Aquaman. I grew up with Aquaman being this blonde haired guy, and then Jason Momoa is playing it, and then my head shifted to, dude, throw some pirate in on that shit and watch him throw down, and you're like, fuck, this is the new Aquaman.
Yeah, you realize you're
cool.
not a man next to that guy.
What?
You realize you're not a look at this guy he's a man and I'm a man? That doesn't make sense.
Yeah. He's cut from marble. I'm cut from Play-Doh.
Yeah, what the fuck?
You're like Star-Lord when they're all doing the Thor thing.
I'm the shit show.
Well, you have gained some weight, around you.
I'm going to get some dumbbells. I'm going to get a Bowflex.
But the trailer for Milan looked good. casting for we'll just have to see how it plays out. It's all going to be on that first trailer, no doubt.
We'll see. I forget who's going to play.
And she might not have to even be a redhead. I saw a lot of fan art going up, and it was
just thinking about Spider-Man. You brought up Spider-Man.
Yeah,
they didn't do that girl justice. That's playing. You ever see her in real life? She's like model.
Oh
hot.
Yeah, what's Zendaya?
Yeah, she's like beautiful.
She's stunning. Dude.
She is stunning, and in the movie they make her look like a.
Well, they make her look like a teenager that doesn't come.
I get a
privilege.
teenager, but MJ was still.
I like that though.
Well, MJ was smoke show in all the comic books,
Yeah,
but that's comic book art.
I think even weirder than that though is
Yeah.
fucking Aunt May. The fact that Marissa Tomei is Aunt May is fucking weird.
It's not
That is weirder.
Happy.
You know what?
That's weirder than anything.
Yeah.
You might be right, but it works so well with Tony Stark when
Yeah.
he was
Yeah,
busting it made it so good because it brought it together.
Well, that makes sense in that part, but like who's Uncle Ben? Like Jason Momoa?
They never get into that, but
Well,
they do have a reference.
Like what the fuck?
You caught it.
Like
in the movie.
he's probably fucking really good looking. He's not shabby, I'm sure.
So Uncle,
But in realistic terms, I don't mean to cut you off.
Probably hung
When you
like a
think-
lion too.
When you think of aunts and uncles, they're not your grandparents' age.
true.
So in Spider-Man, the comic book, that's
They
kind
kinda
of
fucked it up on the
they
comic
fucked
book.
it up.
Yeah,
Unless they said great Aunt May, that would have been different.
Yeah,
you're right.
I always wonder that she was like Methuselah, she was all ancient, and Peter was,
Yeah, but you don't want to have like an aunt that you're like, weird thoughts going on here.
That's a whole section of pornography you don't want to even go.
Yeah,
through.
that's a dark section. One that I may or may not have embarked on.
Back to trailers.
Back to trailers.
They did Jumanji 2, which I did dig. It was okay. I liked the spin on it.
So do I.
So do I. I thought, because who's in it?
Danny Glover and Danny DeVito.
Danny DeVito. And it just works well. The one young kid decides to fuck with the video game Jumanji, the one geek kid. And he fucks with it in a weird way. Danny DeVito's his uncle, I guess, grandfather staying with him. And
Danny Glover.
Danny Glover's his friend. And something happens in the house where they get all the real old kids get sucked in, and they get sucked in too.
Yeah.
And you don't know it's The Rock is now
The Rock is Danny DeVito.
Danny DeVito, which is awesome.
And Kevin Hart is Danny Glover. And they get down. They're old men. They get down there, and like Danny Glover is like saying things because he's in Kevin Hart's body. He's looking at his legs. He's like, "Look at my thighs. Look at these legs."
I love when they do the smoldering look. He goes, the one guy goes, "Watch," he does the smoldering look.
Because that's one of his powers, right?
And he's like, "What do you mean I do that?" It's fucking funny.
And then he goes, Kevin Hart's character, who's old Danny DeVito, who's Danny Glover's a good buddy, is like, is he having a stroke? He having a heart attack? What's he doing with that smolder?
It's just funny shit.
And then, what else is that? Yeah, it's going to be a clever thing. And then, I don't know the actor's name, but the guy who played, I think he was the Fridge, but the black actor, the kid actor, who...
Yeah.
He jumps into Jack Black's body,
Which is even better because he's like he was Kevin Hart the last time.
Yeah,
that's why it's perfect. Dude.
And now Danny Glover's character, or I'm sorry, Jack Black's character, who was the girl.
Yeah,
but I don't think she's in this movie this time.
Who?
The female character that jumped into
something Roundhouse.
She was the hot girl that jumped.
She's in it.
But she's not in Jack Black's body.
No, she's not in Jack Black's body. I don't know where she is because they all switch. Some of them switch bodies.
Yes, exactly.
And I think the Jonas kid is the geek kid now.
Oh, okay.
I think. You didn't hear him talk, but you saw him in it again.
That's right. Nick Jonas is in it again.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, hopefully it's, whatever.
The one that's not married to the girl from Game of Thrones.
Yes. So, Knives Out. It's the whodunit murder mystery with directed by and written by
We will not see it.
Ryan Johnson, he who shall not be named, and it's got a killer cast. It's got Chris Evans in it. It's got Daniel Craig in it. It's got, I think,
is that 30 years of heritage behind it too? 40.
No.
Doesn't matter about the cast. We all know that if it ain't directed.
Well, if he ruined that, then man, it's a real big stretch if he can ruin this.
Well, it actually, again, but this goes to how passionate the fans are. You and I, we both saw the trailer. I sent it to you guys. And I was like, written and directed by Ryan Johnson. I was like, nope. I'm still burning.
You know what?
I'm still hot.
After seeing his personality and then seeing this, it has every little pinpoints of his personality in this. And I don't fucking like his personality. So I'm not gonna go see this fucking movie.
He's like, you're getting fucking roadhead, dude. You got a fucking Woody and a cop drives by. That's exactly the fucking
There's a
feeling.
reason why
And
this
he's the cop,
motherfucker.
and he was the nerdy
He's
kid.
the one that makes
he
your
was the
fucking boner go down.
He was the nerdy kid in high school that then became a cop. And even though he's a cop, you still don't respect him.
Yeah, exactly.
And he's just gonna pull you over just because you're getting a blowjob, just to be an asshole.
Dude, it's got this killer cast. It's got Michael Shannon in it.
No,
right?
it's a great cast.
Jamie Lee Curtis, Don Johnson,
Yeah,
Toni Collette.
Fuck that guy.
Yeah. Catherine Langford from 13 Reasons Why. Yeah. And
Who gives a fuck, dude?
yeah. That's
He
just
fucked it up. There's a reason why Disney hasn't even his trilogy was announced before those the Game of Thrones guys. There's a reason why those Game of Thrones guys started their trilogy before his.
Do you remember what I said, though? I said, you'll know if he's got his trilogy going the minute he signs on to another project. And he's on this other project, and nobody's talking about him in Star Wars.
Exactly.
So he's making money.
I
doing
think they're
other
just
things.
trying to hush it down because Disney doesn't want to admit they made a mistake in anything.
Yeah.
I mean, you'll really see it once this other movie comes out. Not to get into Star Wars kick, we'll see how much they try to, quote unquote, erase from the last movie to cover it up.
Like I said before, it's gonna be a hell of a fucking race.
Well, we'll get into that in later
So
episodes.
real quick, because I know we got Spider-Man to talk about,
And Stranger Things.
and Stranger Things. Maleficent 2 came
I
out.
just saw that. I have no interest.
The first one was really good.
It was, but I mean,
I don't know about the second one. I don't know where they could go with it, but
Well, she becomes a little bit more maternal with the young
somebody
girl.
else comes along, another
Michelle
witch.
Pfeiffer comes along. She's like
a
the
higher power witch or something.
Well, she's the
how's she looking
queen.
these days?
Michelle Pfeiffer looks good, but she looks
she was
her
just in
age.
something.
She doesn't look overdone.
Hey,
What was
man.
she just in?
The older the bearer, the sweeter the juice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, she joined the Marvel Network when she was in Ant-Man.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what. She didn't look bad.
No, she looks her age is what
Yes,
it is.
I mean,
Oh, yeah,
she doesn't
dude.
look
She's
bad
been
for her
making
age.
movies since the early 80s.
No, yeah, man. Grease too. Sure.
Fuck yeah, man.
She was actually hot in that.
She's hardcore. That and then Charlie's Angels got a reboot. I'll tell you what. I saw the Charlie's Angels trailer and I was like, it actually looks good,
No.
but only because the
Is
production.
that your
value-
Woody talking? Or
No. I could give a
Which
shit.
head-
which
hot,
head- which
dude.
head are you talking about?
I honestly could give a shit about the female cast and everything, but it looks like the production value is up. It looks like the action and stunt coordination and all that
Is it because
stuff is
Patrick
up.
Stewart's in it?
Believe me, that
Seems
made
like
me
they're-
look back at the screen instead of talking to Cindy.
It seems like they're jamming it down my throat. It's kind of like
I don't want it.
Yeah, exactly. It's
I don't
like,
want it.
It's
Nobody
like,
wants it.
I don't want to wear shorts
I
above
will
my
bet
knee.
money
Yeah.
that
Why do you keep
bombs.
ramming that down my throat? I don't want to wear
Yeah.
shorts above my knee. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Stop selling me those. I want shorts at my knee.
You don't
above-
want corduroy OP shorts.
No, not above
from
my
the
knee.
80s.
Fuck.
First
you.
of all,
Yes, sir.
they're
And I don't
selling
want
this
that.
to the wrong group. Women don't give a fuck. Most of them don't give a fuck about action flicks.
I don't know.
Not unless it involves
Wonder Woman.
It's a different.
No, I
a
like Charlie's.
straight up
I like the
action
other
flick.
Charlie's Angels, but like
The first one was
Do we
okay.
need to reboot a reboot
No, exactly.
of Charlie's Angels?
That's a great point.
That is a fucking. That is the point.
We're doing it.
That's
with,
fact.
With the. Well, no, I guess we're not doing it with the Ghostbusters.
No, they're just doing a Ghostbusters 3.
Yeah.
Actually, it should be Ghostbusters 2 and just.
I
fuck
bet
the
you
other
he
one.
probably wouldn't even have made that
Like
Ghostbusters 3 if they didn't.
Well, they
shit
just-
the
they
bed on
canceled
that
all that
last
shit
one.
out.
I guarantee they wouldn't have.
What?
I bet you that he wouldn't even have made that Ghostbusters, whatever the fuck this is, if it wasn't for the last one that came out. I guarantee
Yeah.
you. It's like a rescue.
So why
It's
didn't
like-
he make one
Oh my
after
God.
2 then?
That's what I'm saying.
Dude, it is a cash.
2 was fucking awesome. It wasn't awesome, but it was good.
You just stopped me mid sentence. I had to murmur
Dude.
into silence. I'm
was
not
good.
saying it was shit. I'm saying I had fun with it, but
2 or the new one that just came out.
two.
Like-
I still have never seen a new one.
Even on the same. Dude.
You have gotten back that
Okay.
2 hours.
Ghostbusters 2 or Batman versus Superman.
Batman versus Superman.
Fuck
Batman
you,
versus-
dude.
I know. I go.
Wait, fuck, dude.
Sorry, I had a moment there. I'm
That's
sorry.
sad.
I thought you were talking about the reboot. Sorry.
Come on.
No, you're right. Ghostbusters.
No. Batman versus Superman.
Oh, fuck you, dude.
Just because of that one scene. That's for me. I'm sorry.
No,
Yeah.
that fight, fuck that.
I could give a fuck about the rest of the movie, but that fight scene was phenomenal.
Yeah, that was pretty badass.
That's whatever.
You know what, Nick? You convinced me. Is
Yeah,
Batman
you
versus
convinced you.
It's your own.
That shit was whack, dude. It was a terrible fucking movie, dude.
And I like Ben Affleck as Batman, so.
Do you bleed?
Yeah.
Okay, moving on. Spider-Man: Far From Home just came out in the theaters. Came out actually early because anticipation for the July 4th weekend
Came out
on
Tuesday.
Tuesday last week. It's being Monday of the following week, the 8th. What'd you think?
I loved it. I thought it was on par with the first one.
I agree.
You know, I think they're neck and neck. If you asked me to pick, I probably wouldn't be able to pick between the two.
Yeah.
You know,
I really don't want to talk about this one, honestly.
All right,
I
so
will-
we'll try and keep it as spoiler-free
Yeah,
as
because
possible.
I really want to watch this one.
No worries, dude. We'll respect. We'll keep it
Because
as
usually I don't
spoiler-free
give a
as
shit,
possible.
but this one I do. I like.
Let's,
Well, I get-
let's
I
do
get-
some,
Spider-Man's like
Nicholas, let's do some dancing, all right?
All right, we'll dance around.
Spider-Man's like one of my favorites. Spider-Man and Wolverine are probably my favorite.
All right, respect.
Well, I will
Come.
say this. Go into it thinking of, yes, it's a superhero movie, but it's also a teenage high school type movie too.
I
They
like
kind of
that.
incorporate both of them.
John Hughes in it up. All right.
Well, here's the thing that blew me away.
No, but that's a good point there.
Dude,
Little John Hughes.
the idea that they killed Peter Parker and brought in Miles Morales, that was awesome.
Oh, I loved it.
Just kidding. All right, get back up on your seat, Jamie.
But they I will just say this. I thought it was really well, how they incorporated after the snap was really well done.
Yes.
They like you even said you didn't realize, and this is not a huge spoiler. We're not ruining too much of the movie.
No.
With the Asian kid, you were like after like, where did he? Why is he all the? He was younger, and then they added him into the group of friends as
Yes.
an older character with the friends, because most of his friends, all his friends, actually got caught up in the snap.
Yeah.
So except for this one Asian kid, they even talked about it in the beginning. They said he was like 5 years younger.
Yeah.
You know, then now they're all the same age and he's hitting on MJ.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Did-
they
did-
through the whole movie, he's hitting on MJ. So it kind of like was a reminder to everybody in the audience that, yeah, this, you know, what's been going on.
Time was still happening while these people were snapped.
Yes. And then,
And so there was people that were 5 years old. The way they start out the movie is choice.
yeah.
yeah, and listen, I'm
by
sure it
the
does
way-
not disappoint.
The one thing I will say this: there's a clip you see in the trailers that's totally not in the movie where he's talking to the police officers and he says, "I'm going on vacation." It's not even in the fucking movie.
Yeah, it's a
I
decoy.
didn't watch any of the trailers. I
well,
wanted to
whatever.
watch
You
the.
fucking kill me, Jamie. I'm
I just
trying
wanted
to say something. I thought you watched it.
No, I wanted to watch the movie. I didn't.
So I'll just give you some highlights, things that I liked without spoiling stuff. Jake Gyllenhaal crushes. He does a hell of a job.
I like that guy. I think
does a
he's
hell of a
cool.
job. Did you know he was going to be Spider-Man?
He was.
I did not. know
Yeah,
that.
he was going to be in Spider-Man 2.
because Tobey Maguire couldn't do it or something.
He hurt his back doing Seabiscuit.
Yep.
And so he was going to be Spider-Man, which is kind of nice. He comes into the
And
Spider-Verse.
you know where we learned this on? Howard Stern.
That's right.
Howard Stern's
Because they got those clips now that Howard puts out.
exactly where
fucking
I
watch
learned it.
I watch them all the time now because I don't have.
Serious?
So, I watch the clips. I love it.
He's the fucking man.
He is the man. You know what? I forgot. I know you always talk about it. I really forgot how good of an interview he really is. He
Oh, my
just,
God. He crushed.
I was watching him and Drew Barrymore today.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was talking to her about how when she got on Letterman and she flashed Letterman.
Yeah.
She goes, yeah, you know, got her to admit that was the day she decided to start taking her life seriously.
Oh, wow.
After the fact, and that's when she did the Cinderella movie.
Yeah,
She's
yeah.
like, I gotta like shape up my life.
Yeah, because she had of course drug
drug issues,
yeah.
He's the king, dude. The king.
No
knows
doubt.
it too.
Mad
He knows
respect to that cat, man. He knows how to interview like
When he
a mofo.
retires, I'm gonna be a sad.
The reason why he knows how to interview is because I've been watching a lot of his interviews. He incorporates a lot of what happened in his life into the interviews.
Well, I think it's a lot to do with his therapy,
Right, yeah.
like his psychotherapy that
He's preaching about. But what I mean, when you watch him do any interview, he's really like referencing something that happened in his life that relates to the person he's interviewing, and it just seems like they feel at ease talking to him.
Dude, he's a surgeon, man.
Yeah.
Oh,
like
fuck yeah.
he goes and he wants to know one, what's relevant and what piques the curiosity of the view of the listener,
and also of the person he's interviewing.
yeah. So he'll like come in, he'll put he
does his research.
Yeah, well, that he does. He lets the person feel at ease. Then he threads this needle, and he's like, "Come on, what is it? $1 million, $10 million? How much money did you
And then
lose
he
on
just-
that deal?
Yeah, and
you know,
and what's great about that, and what people don't like think about, is that he's somewhat accurate in his estimation that he throws out there.
fuck yeah, man.
He's
He
not
does
like
his fucking
he's not
research.
Yeah,
He's not stupid.
He doesn't throw out
100%.
some wild estimation or some really low one. He's like in the ballpark, and
Yeah.
they're like they bite.
Yes.
Because you know what? It seems like the guy is he's wicked smart.
Yes.
He's so smart. And I'm not talking about book smart. He's just smart in like, EQ versus IQ. He is that EQ
It's true
factor.
intelligence is what it is.
He does. He
Yeah.
has that. He's reading a guy. He does his research. But because you hear him talking about like, oh, I heard John, you back in the day, I heard you were into karate and you were big into Bruce Lee and all that. And somehow he feeds into a freaking movie about karate that you had a scene in that you really don't want to talk about, but he gets you to talk about it anyway.
And he asks almost as a fan.
Exactly. And they're like,
know?
dude, I got to answer this guy's question. It's cool.
and
Because he started the Drew Barrymore thing about how he got on, what's his face's desk and the thing dressed as drag. And that's how he got Drew Barrymore to start talking about what she did.
Oh, yeah.
So it was
clever.
very relatable.
Yeah. And that's when he was doing Miss America's
Exactly.
promotion,
Yeah.
Yeah, I just love how he developed over the years to where he's at today. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just the guy,
Yeah.
and people
He's
still
a
think that like
genius.
all he gives a shit about is like what
He's a
was in-
far cry from Bud Bongo and let's get as
Bud
many
Bongo
From when he
Fiesta.
started.
and lesbians in here.
Channel 9,
more
dude.
now.
Yes.
Everybody starts somewhere. Like right now, we're starting in your basement. Someday we could be somewhere else.
And he's
That's
got a
the
lot
plan.
of regrets. Like he always talks about the Robin Williams thing.
I'll
how
take
he,
one, Nick,
How he
please.
fucked that up, and he
The
that's like-
Robin Williams one?
Yeah, he's got like a hardcore regret that like when Robin Williams came on, he turned Robin Williams off because he like made it about himself. He was kind of like insulting,
You mentioned that before.
and then he like regretted it for years.
Yeah.
Up until the point where right before Robin Williams died, he told his wife, he's like, I got to call this guy, just straight up, just fucking apologize. He's like, 'cause
Oh, wow.
this guy is like a hero of mine. Guy was fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
And he was like in like a couple days before was gonna call him, and then he died. And he's like it's like a real big bite of mine. So like,
you mentioned this before, I
Yeah.
think, on one of the or maybe just in talking to us. I don't remember.
and like he's got like others too that like he tries to, and then there's other ones too that he's just like, I'm not gonna, it is what it is. Like they don't
Sure.
like me, and
Well, it's like the Donald Trump thing. He openly admits he voted for Hillary Clinton. But he calls when he had Donald Trump on the show like 10 times.
He says it all the time. He's like, I liked hanging out with him, like the person, but like he's like, as a politician, he's like, I want nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
He's like, that's not my cup of tea.
Yeah, and you got to think about the vast diversity of the people that he brings onto his show, and like, yeah, he has to find a way to connect with these individuals even at the very most, the base level. I know that's really
so
good.
much better.
Sip of sunshine.
Not
Nick's,
that this
Nick's
is-
drinking sip of sunshine. It's delightful. But he's got to connect with them. So on that connection, you can find some common ground with people where they're relatable. But it doesn't mean that you're going to invite them to Thanksgiving dinner.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he he tries to stay away from politics, but generally somebody calls up.
No, fuck yeah, man.
and
Especially
brings-
now.
and
It's a
brings it up.
hotbed.
Well, that was like one of his things too. He got into an argument with Bill Maher. Like they had like some
Oh,
sort
that
of
was a
stuff.
great interview, man.
Yeah,
I didn't see the whole one.
So if you
There was
knew
just a clip.
I saw the snippet.
previous history, like back, I think it was NBC days, Stern and Robin. Bill Maher's father was the head news guy that would like give like Robin the news and stuff.
Are you
Oh,
serious?
shit.
So he
And
was the guy. He was the shipwreck or whatever the fuck.
No, he was a good dude. They got along really well. Like Stern loved him.
Yeah.
Robin loved him. Like he was like a really good guy to the point where he's like, hey, you got to check my son. He's doing stand up. And they would go and see Bill Maher doing stand up like
Okay.
when he first started.
No shit.
Okay. Years later, and Stern always talks about how much he loves Bill Maher's show. He thinks it's like done really well or whatever.
Yeah.
And they had some sort of like falling out, so, you know, whatever.
Because they started talking political, or is
No,
that-
they had some words about
They're
choice
both-
words. Well,
yeah.
they're
both
it was
like
over,
hard-headed.
It was over
Opinionated.
something. It was over something,
There you
and
go.
then they met at a party and they made up or whatever.
Yeah.
So then Bill Maher came on the show, and now he's going to go on that show. And he told Bill Maher, he's like, I don't mind going on the show, but he's like, you know me, like I really don't want to talk politics per se. Like I'll say like a couple things here and there or how I feel, but I don't want to really go into it.
It's a
'Cause-
political show. I mean,
Yeah, if he's going to be on the show, he has to go political.
no,
You can't.
and Bill Maher
Yeah.
said he's like, you don't. He's like, you don't have to go political.
But every time I watch Bill Maher's show, it's all
oh,
political.
totally, man. It's a
Well, he does like
How you
the-
get around that?
It's a very left.
He wants Howard on there because he knows if he gets Howard going, Howard's going to go.
Yeah, but I think this show is produced in a way, because I've seen Bill Maher quite a bit. I think the show is produced in a way that when those side guests come on, he asks questions and lets the guest talk.
I know he does. I'm
Yeah.
not a fan of Bill Maher. Never
Yeah.
have been, because I like his stand up. But when it comes to his show, I don't think a comedian should be fucking trying to get into politics.
It all depends.
It's like me getting up there and talking about politics.
Yeah, but then you
makes
got-
sense.
Well, it all depends.
we got
like, you
what's
look
his
at Jon Stewart.
Colbert.
I don't
Jon
like
Stewart.
Colbert either. So
Colbert, I thought was funny.
Well, it's
But I don't-
all personal taste, man. It's all
It really
and it
is.
is.
I
all
prefer
entertainment.
Fallon. I prefer Fallon.
I like Jimmy Kimmel.
Yeah.
Just because he
Yeah.
touches on it a little bit, but he doesn't make it the whole thing.
Yes,
Yeah.
Kimmel's smart in that way.
His monologue just is a lot
Is-
about beating up Trump.
Yeah, but
He does it in a nice way.
but he like stays away from the other stuff. He just doesn't like Trump.
Yeah,
Yeah.
In a
but he
se-
doesn't like him. He doesn't care. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter if he's a politician.
No,
he just
well,
doesn't
nobody in
like him.
Yeah,
Hollywood,
that
if
just
you
doesn't
actually
like
want
him.
to go into the fact of Trump, really nobody in Hollywood likes Trump.
No, they're actually petitioning in trying to get whoever controls the
FCC or whatever?
no the basically the county of Hollywood or the community of LA or whatever you want to call it to try and get his star removed.
Carrie Fisher doesn't even have a fucking star.
Yeah, that's sad.
You know who else doesn't have a star? I don't think somebody said, was it Julia Roberts or somebody? Somebody really famous that I was surprised that didn't have a star. Oh, who the fuck?
Yeah, Carrie Fisher should have a star.
Over Donald Trump? Fuck yeah, man.
You know, a little donation.
Yeah, fuck right,
Pretty
dude.
much.
Donation.
Anyway, we are way
a
off
tax
course.
break.
So
Stern's the man.
yes, Stern
Yes,
is the man.
uh,
Spider-Man: Far From Home, 2 thumbs up. Dug it a lot. The tone, the way they introduce, the way they bring in teenage awkwardness, because Peter's not a young man. You know, he's not working for the Daily Bugle.
Seriously, though.
He's a teenager.
It gets to beg the question of how old was he when they introduced him into Civil War?
15?
At 15, he's 16 in this movie.
Yeah.
They say his
True.
age.
We can
That's
we can
true.
segue into Stranger Things about teenage awkwardness.
See, Jamie, you got my number,
We were
man.
going there. John probably has it in his fucking notes.
Yeah, there's a note that says "Segue Stranger Things." But two
thumbs up. Definitely
we'll,
see it.
We'll definitely want your opinion after this weekend
Yeah, I'm
when we
taking
get
the
back.
kids this week.
And we'll go into some.
Well, real
some
quick,
spoilerific
the
stuff.
visuals in it were fantastic.
Yeah, dude,
They did
I love
really
Spider-Man,
well.
man.
they do
Changes suits, right?
old school
Huh?
Mysterio.
He has different suits, right?
Yes,
He does because of reasons, but
Yeah.
Good nods toward Tony.
they explain certain things that you were like, oh, that makes sense. The great nods towards Tony.
Yep.
The whole movie was a fucking nod towards Tony.
Yep.
Fact of the matter is, everything
Yeah.
was. So You'll enjoy it. I know you will.
Yeah, definitely. They're not missing
Spider-Man.
a step for sure.
It's definitely it works well off of Endgame. Because Endgame is so intense, this works well off of it. It calms it down a little bit. Real quick, I know we're off our top. What's the next movie on slot for the MCU after this?
I believe it's Black Widow.
That's what I thought. But when is that? Next May?
I'm not sure. I'll have to
We'll
get
look it
back.
up later. I know we're off topic. I just was curious to
As
that.
long as it's a far cry from The Last Jedi, we're good.
We do have a Star Wars movie in there, buddy.
Yeah, we do. So, segue, ham-fisted segue. Stranger Things. Going from one hormone, teenage-fueled a movie to the next. Actually, the series on... Everybody knows it's on Netflix. But this is Stranger Things Season 3. Steeped chock in the middle of 1985.
Yeah, real quick.
Go ahead.
You said you were looking at your phone. And now I know why. Because up until episode 3, I probably wasn't as in it. 4 and 5 really...
I was searching for things too, but
it starts getting going after 4 and 5.
Yeah,
Because me and Shannon watched it, the first 2 episodes the other night, and we were like, we're tired, we're going to bed. Last night we watched 3, 4, we're like, it was like
It's
11
good.
o'clock. We fucking watched another one. I'm like, babe, I got to go to bed. It starts picking up. I was just,
Yeah.
sorry, I just.
no, it's good. I like it so far. I'm up to 4. I didn't watch 4 yet, so I watched
4 and
first.
5, I think, really have these cliffhanger types that really like,
They're setting a lot of groundwork
Yeah.
in 4. I mean, in
Playing the awkwardness
first
really
3,
good.
4. Yeah.
I will say this though, your wife hit it on the head. Don't fucking eat anything while you're watching the first couple episodes because
It's
there's
gross.
popping rats.
Yeah.
Fucking,
And
what the fuck?
Dude, it's not even like jelly. It's like jelly with chunks and bones in
Can
it.
for shit's sake, Mrs. Wheeler get fucked?
I want to give it to her. She's
did.
fucking hot, dude.
Dude, I want to see her get it hard. She is hot.
Go throwback to the old Heather's days.
Yeah, dude, like 80s Bush and all, dude. Like,
Let it go, man.
yeah.
Dude, she is.
I thought Hopper was gonna,
I was fucking pissed. I was like, what the fuck, dude?
Listen.
Ryan Johnson showed up.
Officer Johnson. Jesus Christ.
Oh.
You again. But, it seemed like the main character in that first half of the season was puberty and young love, right?
Oh, yeah, fuck yeah.
Everybody's kind of paired up, you got
Except for the
11.
one kid that got taken.
Well, that's right.
I forget what's
He's
his
still
name.
like young.
Yeah,
still
he's
young
the one
at
that's
heart.
out, right?
Yeah.
He's one
until he breaks out that baseball.
He's John. He's still playing D&D.
That's right.
Oh, he broke out the wizard outfit. I'm
Dude.
like, holy fuck, man. This dude went all out. The other kids are like, dude,
Probably knows who Peter Jackson is, but that's beside the
as
point.
Jamie would say,
Son of a bitch.
as Jamie would say, as Jamie would say, that motherfucker ain't getting pussy.
No. He's still rocking the D&D.
I don't think he's interested in it, though, like from the...
Well, maybe he's on the cusp. Maybe the juice
He's
isn't
trying to
flowing
hold.
yet.
He's
You know
trying to
what I mean?
hold. He's
Yeah.
trying to hold on to his childhood because, hey, he did go missing for like a fucking whatever 6 months.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
dick's still for pissing. Facts.
Yeah, and the bowl haircut isn't going to score any points with the ladies.
Yeah, but look at Mike, dude. But he's like with like an alien. So
yeah, I don't know what.
When you see him in real life, he looks the fucking same.
Yeah, I don't
He's
know.
the only one that looks the fucking same.
That was the thing about Mike's haircut. I was like, I grew up in the '80s, man. I didn't know anybody that had that haircut.
Be like, yo, that motherfucker is straight.
That
get
was more
picked up.
70s.
Yo,
Picked up.
remember Emo Williams, the comedian?
No.
Dude, there was a comedian. He used to talk in this high pitched voice, and he was really weird and had this real weird, like eclectic act. And if you check him out, check out Emo Williams, and you're going to look at him and go, like, that's Mike's haircut.
Yeah, that haircut sucks, dude.
Yeah.
Straight
But-
sucks.
80s, they throw down with the 80s big time.
Yeah,
the
it's all
thing
about
that
the future poster in the background. It's
Oh,
awesome.
you got a chubby right there, dude.
dude. All right, I'm just going to say
the
it.
malls.
The malls.
The mall was awesome, dude.
The way they dressed
Wasn't it-
up that mall, I felt like I was in a time machine.
The ice cream shop. I was thinking Friendlies all the way.
Of course, or Baskin Robbins.
Yes, man. Fuck,
Yeah, dude. Are you kidding me?
Dude.
I was waiting for an oak tree
the red carpet in the fucking mall. I was like, then you go into the main lobby. It's that square platform, the square tiles going all around.
Yeah, and the fountain and everything like that.
He was eating the cop. He was eating Tostitos. I don't remember Tostitos back in the day. I remember like Doritos and all that stuff.
Doritos.
Oh, you're calling it out.
No, but he had like an old school looking bag that said Tostitos. I'm sure they might have.
I have no doubt that they did their homework, man, because
I'm sure they did.
I was looking at that scenery and I'm like, holy shit.
I don't remember.
Man.
All I'm saying is I don't remember salsa being a condiment until the 90s. That's all I'm saying.
I hear you. But totally.
Oh yeah, they did good.
Like throw down with that 80s scene.
They did an interview.
Music, foreigner, dude.
Good Morning America or whatever. They did an interview with the young cast, and they were walking around one of the sets, and they showed the TV antenna. And they're like, "Do you know what this is for,
dude?" Oh my god,
they had fucking no idea. They were like, "A hat?
Where the hell were we? We were just out with the kids."
And you showed the kids that?
And there was someplace. Where the hell were we? I forget. There was a big TV antenna. Like old school antenna, and Noah called it out as something like, is that he called it out something else, and I was like, nah, that's a TV. And I think we were at Spaz getting beer, and then across there was an old house across the way.
Well, I was talking about the one on top of the TV, but yeah.
Oh no, I'm talking about the big one that looks like you should hang laundry from it.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
And he's looking at it, he's like, Dad, what is that? And he called it. He said it was something. I forget what he called it out as, but it wasn't it. And I was like, no, that's an old TV antenna. He looked at me like I was speaking German, man.
Yeah, remember you asked Dad used to have to get on top of the fucking roof to fix that shit, or the old zip boxes.
They didn't have porn like they do nowadays, boy.
But it's crazy. It's crazy.
Watch that scribble.
Yeah. I love it though. You know, part of the charm of the show is the nostalgia factor for all of us. I mean,
1000%.
The show was well written. I mean, even this season. Dude. I didn't think they could pull it off.
The dude with the mullet and the mustache and like
that
all
mustache
the girls
is
are all
killing me, dude.
Amazing.
Just shave the fucking thing or let it grow in.
But the dude's
do
like,
one or the other, motherfucker.
Dude's pulling pussy like it's his job.
He is
like it's his job.
How about? Oh yeah, you're talking about the older brother.
Yes.
Yeah.
The bad guy.
He's all throwing down with the all moms.
the moms. They're all like wetting their pants.
He's a dick bandit. Done landed, dude.
So goddamn
Dude's
funny.
a man.
Yeah, it was great. There was a lot of parts. Did you notice that they'll throw in, like last season? It was Sean Astin, right? He was the boyfriend. Mm-hmm. You know,
he has clips in this though.
Yeah, but and then so that's an '80s icon, right? That's an '80s star.
Goonies man, dude.
Exactly, throwing down,
the man, dude.
And then they had Carrie Ellis.
Who?
Carrie Ellis. He was Princess Bride.
Oh yes, right. I called that out to Shannon. She goes,
"Shit,
I don't care."
You're right.
Right?
I
So
didn't realize
it seems
that
like that's what they do. They pepper in an '80s star.
Yeah.
Well, at least they did with the last two seasons. But I thought that was cool.
I loved it, dude.
No, I like it so far.
Really good.
And wait, I gotta talk about the fucking Russian.
Oh yeah,
Is that like Arnold Schwarzenegger cutout?
Of course,
Shannon called
dude.
that out. I'm like, yeah, what the fuck?
Did you get
is
to
with
the
it?
Russian yet, Jamie?
I got to like where they figured out they decoded it.
Did he get beat up?
You know
yet?
the guy that lifts up the other guy and snaps his neck? That's definitely a nod to Arnold.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
an Arnold from
That's Terminator, right?
The Terminator
Yeah.
thing. And face looks like the fucking.
Oh, that guy. Yeah.
When
He's
he's
got
at the
the
7-Eleven,
jarhead cut.
when he's at the 7, don't look at them. Look at me. I'm like, dude, if he says I'll be back, I'm out.
So that was a tricky thing, though, man. It's like there were some times when I was like, I couldn't decide, I couldn't go back and forth as readily with, is this not great writing or is it a nod to the 80s?
I think it's a nod to the 80s. I think they're all nodding to the 80s. I think it's fantastic writing.
Yeah, that's ultimately where I landed.
You know, I mean, I haven't seen the completion
There's
of
no
the
Ryan Johnson
series.
piece, dude.
Huh?
There's no Ryan Johnson piece.
Oh, no, man.
Not
you
even
know?
close.
Yeah.
So all thumbs up. You're on episode 4.
Yes, I'm on episode 4.
I'm going on 6.
You're going on 6.
I'll have it finished like this week, definitely.
Awesome.
It's only 8.
No, is it 8?
It's 8. They only do 8 usually.
That's right. It's
good.
I'm getting confused.
And that's what I like. I like
that too. That's how it should be.
Yeah,
should be 8.
I don't need
8 and skate.
8 to 10.
8 and
Give
skate,
me
dude.
8 to 10. I don't even mind 10. You go past 10, I'm fucking out.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, like I told you, I started watching that Yellowstone.
Yeah.
We watched in the one episode, dude.
You and Brie?
Yeah, I swore it was fucking like 3 hours. And she's like, that was one episode. And I was like, what?
Was it
No, it was like, it was only like an hour. I
What's
think it
your
was like
phone checking ratio?
That show is fucking good.
Really?
I'm in it to win it.
Is it like political in the show? I mean,
No, it's
with,
like
with everything.
Yeah,
going
like
on,
there's like
moving parts.
yes, there's definitely like politics involved, but it's like politics of the land. Like fighting over land.
It's
like
different.
Newcomers, but it's like a new age, wild West kind of thing. I like it.
It kind of
Cool.
took me
Sounds
back having Kevin Costner doing that.
They have a
when
lot
I
of-
first saw it, I'm like, they're talking about a second season.
He's
I'm
not the
like,
only good
what
actor in there, though.
I know, but he's a big actor.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
he
huge.
still has gravitas. He's still like, you see him on a headline of a movie, you're like, I might check.
You know
that
what
out.
I was?
It's Kevin Costner.
I thought was odd was the channel that it was on because Brian's like, yeah, you got to watch this.
It's on
Yellowstone.
A&E or something.
No, it's like Universal or something. Universal channel.
Oh, it's just they probably bought out another network and they renamed it.
Well, whatever it was, I was like, what the fuck is this? But
you know
like,
what it is?
all right,
Everybody knows that it's about quality now. It's not about,
that is quality.
it's
That's
about
right.
quality. And they're all trying to catch up. There are certain channel networks that like the WC have their niche for low entertainment, low budget.
I'm sad that I haven't been watching The Flash, by the way. I gotta watch that.
I thought you said you didn't want to watch it anymore. No, it was
No.
the Arrow that you were
Fuck
like,
the Arrow. That's
you were pissed off about.
So, I watched the whole season,
oh, of course you did.
and I was
Of
really
Yellowstone?
happy. No, of Stranger Things, and I was really happy. I was satisfied, thoroughly satisfied on how it ended. There was
Did
some
they leave it
nitpicky.
open?
Of course,
They left
of course.
They left it open.
Oh,
but actors aren't going to sign on.
There is an after credit scene. Ba, ba, ba. So yeah, there's an after credit scene. So that yes, they did leave it somewhat open.
Well, if there's an after credit scene, then it would be.
Yeah. So
Millie Bobby Brown's not signing on though for that.
no, she's busy making Godzilla movies.
Dude, the girl is like fucking all over the place.
Yeah, she's a legit talent. And brought it in every step of the way with this
She was
movie.
good. She was good in the first 5 episodes. She was like not understanding of. I felt she played it well for somebody that doesn't understand being a teenager at all.
Yeah.
And then
Well, they addressed the lie thing.
yes,
Yeah.
So I thought she's been doing
Well played.
Yes. Yeah.
So I thought it's been really, really, really good. Really
Yeah.
well done from her part.
So I highly recommend it. Go ahead.
Well, I just want to say, you got to admit though, the casting, because the hardest thing to do is probably in Hollywood is cast kids
Yeah.
and get kids to act well.
Yeah.
And they did a fantastic job with almost every one of these kids.
Yeah. You look at the behind the scenes for Goonies and you see, I think it's Dick Donner that did Goonies and you see him with those kids. And you have to be a certain kind of director to be able to handle the kids,
All I
keep
gotta
them
say is
motivated.
2 words:
What's that?
Phantom Menace.
PU.
Well, what a kid! I mean, he got fucking Anakin Skywalker as a kid. I'm not, going, but I'm just giving an example of a bad choice.
Oh, bad choice actor, yeah,
Of a kid.
But in
Still
what I'm
rather
saying,
watch that though.
Yeah,
Like any day though.
I'm not
but
disagreeing
what I'm
with
saying
you.
is like you have to be able to one have talent, but then two put that talent in the hands of a director that can. I know I'm overstating the obvious, but put that talent in the hands of a director that can actually motivate them, get the emotion out of them, have them feel sad and happy, and walk them through and hold their hands and make them
But they
go
did,
through that.
They did a good job, though.
They did.
I mean, these
They did.
kids have done well.
Yeah,
And I haven't finished this, but from every stage of every series, they've really done well. I mean, it's hard to do that.
yeah.
You talk about what Billy Bob. Not Billy Bob. The girl.
Yeah,
11 or 7 or E or whatever.
Millie. What's her?
Millie Bobby Brown.
Billy Bobby
I
Brown.
mean,
Millie.
picking
Millie.
her out.
Billy Bobby.
I mean, you're putting this girl in here. You're putting this girl in a situation where it got to be tough in general for any regular actor to deal with.
Yeah.
It's all sci-fi, hypothetical bullshit.
Sure.
And you're telling her to act, and she's like 10, 11 years old, nailing it.
Yeah.
So-
It's interesting because they do some of the flashbacks to see how much they've changed in the short amount of time.
Yeah.
You know, because you forget. Like, I look at, Jack's 14 years old, and I look back a year and a half, and he's a foot and a half shorter. Almost.
Yeah, and a lot different.
They kept them all on point, which it was good. I recommend the
That
series.
was fantastic, man. I loved it.
So, the other thing I saw, I know we're running a little long on time. I did finish Star Trek Discovery Season 2. I thought...
God damn, motherfucker.
I thought...
Time, dude. I don't ever fucking want to hear that out of your
Dude, you
mouth
haven't heard that
ever again.
I haven't said shit to you in a while, man.
Wow, it's been almost a year, motherfucker.
You had a baby factory going on, so I let it go. This motherfucker over here.
Hey, Baby Factory is not happening, man. I got able-bodied young men that live in my house, so I can handle.
Yeah, go walk the dog. Go do this. Go do that.
1,000%.
Daddy is watching his shows.
Right, dude. There's times we got Amazon Echoes set up through the house, so we can tap on them and then call up to them when they're up on their computer and be like, "Hey, man, go walk the dogs," and they go.
You're moving straight into laziness, dude.
Oh my god,
Electronical laziness.
I want to be in those things in the Wall-E where you sit in those hovercrafts.
Fuck that movie too. Fuck that movie.
You sit in the hovercrafts
I know what you're talking-
and you eat things out of where your bones atrophy.
Go ahead.
What's wrong with that future?
Yeah.
So
no pussy future.
Well, you know, VR suit with the haptic response. But they spent all the money on this show. Holy crap.
What?
It is so cinematic on Star Trek Discovery. So cinematic. To Jerry's point,
Was it written well though?
there's a lot of tropes to the old school Star Trek. A
were
lot of
saying that,
tropes.
yeah.
There's a lot of that are old school Star Trek. You know, time travel and you know,
Next Generation or the first Star Trek?
first Star Trek. And really, that's first Star Trek sets up
Supposedly,
everything.
Picard ties into this one.
Well, I didn't see any tie-ins for Picard for this one.
That's the rumor. Picard will tie into this one. That's the rumor.
That's probably going to be in Picard, but they do a callback, and they tie in episode 1 of the original series with Pike.
He dies in. Well, he doesn't die in that one. Doesn't he become like a zombie or?
Well, he comes in this metal box, and his face is all
They have
disfigured.
those guys, right?
Yeah, with the big brains and
the
everything like
brain
that.
heads, yeah.
So that part I thought they did really well. I don't know why they keep having to. Oh, I do know why. They keep bringing Spock into the story so it would get viewership. I get it. It seems like Spock.
Oh, actually just put it on fucking network TV.
Yeah.
Stop fucking running it on this. Whatever. It's
Well,
bullshit.
They're spending all the money, so I think that. I mean, I hope that it comes
I'm
to
still
regular
not going to
television.
fucking order.
They need revenue for less Moonves, so.
Yeah, it's my point is
got some
that
fees to pay.
if you like Star Trek, there's some definitely they do time jumping and everything like that. So there's some definite plot holes. There's definitely some story things that are a little janky. But the cinematic part and majority the performances are awesome, except for 2 characters that I don't really care for. But overall, it's enjoyable.
Say this. You got Amazon, Netflix, and upcoming Disney Plus.
Yeah, they're gonna get
What the fuck? Why would I get just for Star Trek? Don't get me wrong. I'm a Star Trek fan.
Yeah.
But for a show that is not even getting great reviews, I'm not going to fucking spend the money.
No. And I wouldn't. I would wait.
I mean, even when Picard comes out, I'll probably wait for the first season to be completely empty, done, get CBS All Access for 1 month, fucking binge it, cancel it, and then move on.
Yeah. I mean, that's exactly right, Nick. And I think that's the way most people are going to buy it. So, which means they're going to spend all this money and get all the Star Trek people to
1 month. People viewership.
to hop in, suck it
They're
dry,
doing it wrong.
and then leave that husk.
Their platform is so wrong. It's just
I honestly don't know of any other shows on the network.
exactly. That's the point. There's
Join
no
or
other
die. Join
or die.
They got to link up with somebody. You know.
Well, there's rumors DC's going to fold. Time Warner's going to. They're not going to have a Time Warner streaming service and a DC Universe streaming service. So the rumor is that they're going to absorb Time Warner. That's part of the reason.
I still don't care about their streaming, even if they absorb both. I fucking don't care.
Yeah, it needs to absorb into like a Netflix, an Amazon, or something.
They're going to have to do something.
Well, Netflix gives you a lot of options, a lot of different movies that they've already built the cachet where we can spend money in other areas where Disney and Amazon might not. We'll just throw money against the wall, and that's how they created Stranger Things. That's how they created other things, but that's where they're at. Amazon has the luxury of having the backing of the richest fucking guy in the world, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
They can do whatever the fuck they want. And then you got Disney coming out, which has the backing of the whole archives of MCU, Star Wars, and not to mention the Disney archive of fucking movies. So they're going to win.
They're like a Spotify of movies.
Yeah, exactly. So those three are going to rule.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then you got Apple trying to creep in, which is not going to work. I don't understand what they're fucking going to do. But CBS is somewhere way down the fucking bottom. They only have Star Trek. That's all.
I would say Apple's down there too. Apple's down there.
Apple's below CBS.
Yeah, Apple's down there.
No, Apple will not be
streaming movies and television.
They will not be below CBS. I guarantee you.
Why? Because they have Oprah?
Oh, fuck Oprah.
I'm talking about the original content.
They will have some decent content.
Maybe.
They will. CBS only has Star Trek.
Yeah, that's true. Well, anyway, I would watch it if it was on Netflix.
All right.
I wouldn't.
And it will be someday, so I'm just holding out.
Yeah,
I'm picking up
but
your
it is a gorgeous show to watch. Like, production value is through the roof. Yeah. It is fucking straight up J.J. Abrams cinematic.
I'm sorry, but how are the Klingons?
The Klingons look like they got cotton in their mouth.
It's fucking
and their
hokey,
heads
man.
are wrapped in rubber.
That's hokey to me.
That is something that takes you back. It really looks like it's hard for them
the Klingons,
to
let's be real. I never liked how JJ saw them. I thought it was ridiculous. These are creatures that, yes, they're warlike, but they did fucking have warp drive and travel to other planets. They can't just be all like stupid.
No, they can't be just mindless beasts.
Yeah, and that's how they portrayed them. It's like it's horrible.
Yeah, they need to do generations
style. Like, they're not dumb, but
God,
they just absorb. Exactly. They just absorb. They conquer and they absorb people's technology.
Yeah,
that's what they
do.
did.
Exactly. So last couple things, I watched Chernobyl, Swamp Thing.
Whoa! What'd you think of Chernobyl?
Wait, let's do this.
No, I don't care about Swamp Thing. Fuck it.
So I want to say Chernobyl for the last. Swamp Thing was actually pretty good.
Fuck it. Okay.
Jessica Jones, I gave up because they doubled down on Trish and Hellcat. I gave up on it. I just couldn't watch it anymore.
Oh, God. I was going to watch that, too. Thank you.
And so,
Thank you.
Save yourself the time.
Thank you.
Chernobyl. Let's see. What's the best way? 2 words to describe this show. Holy fuck. Oh, my God, dude. And you guys were so right. Episode 3.
Told you, man.
Haunts me. Like, it fucking haunts me.
I had to fast forward it. I couldn't do it.
So disturbing. It is so, like, in my fiber of my being, like, rocks the fucking, my brain. I'm like, Jesus Christ. And then it's one thing after another, and you're like, oh my God, these are human beings, right? And then just, when they finally break it down, when they go to trial, and they talk about what really happened.
Yeah, the stacks on top.
And then he turns around and it's like, it was cheaper.
Yeah.
And you're like, what?
Yeah, they didn't give a fuck, dude.
You potentially, they say as little as, they reported like 60 people that died or 36 people, something ridiculously
There's no way to
low.
estimate the real death count.
But they said it could be as little as 4,000 and as high as 90,000 people that straight up just died, where you can directly tie it to, you got fucked, you're dead.
Oh, yeah.
And
I think it's somewhere in the middle.
But the way they described it when they said, oh, by the way, their cells burst, and then their veins burst. And then they said after that happens, this is the part that disturbed me most, because in my brain I'm thinking, if I'm just a living wound, then just fucking dope me to oblivion.
They couldn't.
Yes!
He said there's a point where
you can't administer morphine.
Yeah, it wouldn't even help. You
I
wouldn't
was
feel it.
so horrified, man. Like, fuck you guys for recommending this show because it is
Come
disturbing
on.
as hell.
After that,
It shows you what
it's so
communism
good.
does.
It's so good.
As
though.
You're
communism-
absolutely right. I'm teasing, but it was.
It's
so
I
good.
warned you about the third episode.
You did.
I
You
said
did.
the
And
third
that was the
episode
one.
is-
Communism,
it's
man.
real. Everything else, yeah, it's horrible. But that third episode, man, you're just like she goes to the hospital, you're just what?
Yes.
You're just like disturbed by what went down and how it went down and like how human beings as a group could be dealing with something that we really had no fucking idea except for a handful of people in the whole world understood how serious that was.
Could you imagine? You're creating something that could leave a crater in the earth the size of Texas.
Yeah.
And then fuck up everything on a third of the planet.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Why do you think they're like so up with like fucking like Kim Jong Un like doing those fucking tests?
Jesus Christ.
Dude, it can happen.
But
But he was like, it was like a megaton bomb going off every 40 megaton bomb.
They were equating to Hiroshima.
Yeah.
And what happened, he goes...
You see the progress of that too? That was crazy.
Yeah, when he was doing the thing, I'm like, oh my fucking... It blew your mind. He's like, all right, when this first happened, it was like 1,000 Hiroshima bombs going off.
Yeah.
Now, as it's keep going, as the dust cloud, that was like 10,000. As you get closer to the thing, it's like 100. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
It's like... and you're sending firefighters in there that know nothing
those
about
poor
radiation.
bastards, man.
I mean, we even did it in the United States, so I can't blame them because, I mean, fuck, I wouldn't have known that much what I know now if it wasn't for the internet. So you got to think in the 80s, regular people in the United States
Dude,
didn't know
80s
shit.
and Russia. You're forgetting the Russia factor where they don't tell you dick. They tell you what they want you to know.
Well, it's half of Russia.
Communism, man.
Russia wasn't willing to go outside to the West for a proper robot or whatever vehicle just because they didn't want to look weak to the United States.
Said their perceived power is their power.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I was like, holy shit, that's a mouthful.
So then
And
that's
it
when
all-
they came in with the bots, the human bots or whatever, the biobots. Or whatever.
Yeah.
If you think about it, it all comes back to them cheaping the fuck out.
Totally, man.
Yeah.
And you got
just
this kid.
just to make a couple individuals look better so they can get another title.
Get another title
That's it.
and not be someone who could be low on the totem pole to where it's like, I'll make a decision. I don't want to be the person that makes a decision that I could get shot for. I want to be the person that goes and tells somebody so they can be blamed for the decision so I can shoot them.
Head
The fact
combat.
of the matter
Yeah.
is you get shot. Why does it have to come to you get shot?
Yeah.
I mean, at the end, he did the right thing and told everybody what happened, but then he gets in a fucking car and the guy from the head KGB guy, Putin's probably boss at the time,
Right.
was like, it really doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to fucking know.
You're going to be a non-existent entity, basically.
You know, when he should have done it was when he went to the conference out west.
Yeah.
And that's when he should have laid it on the line. Not in front of the fucking bureau when nobody's actually viewing that fucking thing.
Yeah. It's like telling all the guilty that it's like preaching to the choir, basically.
Yeah, when they can control the narrative, it doesn't fucking matter. All those fucking other scientists that supposedly she said would back you and start a revolution, fucking they're gonna say shit, they don't want to die.
Dude, it's so horrifying, man. It's like, it was one of those things that the magnitude is what, like the kid, he was a senior engineer over the plant and he was 25 years old, 4 months on the job. And everybody's telling that one fuck that basically,
You're an idiot.
You're an idiot. I can't do this. There's so many things wrong with what you're asking us to do. And he's like, do it.
Well, he said he thought there was a failsafe in there. So he thought, we do it, we push the envelope, and I can push the fucking button, and this one won't stop.
Yeah, and
he
then
didn't
the
know there was a
graphite,
flaw.
yeah,
He didn't
the
know there was a
rods.
flaw in the system. But even if he did, I think that asshole seemed like he would just do it anyway.
Yeah. But then it's like, my favorite guys were the miners. You know,
They were awesome. When they came out naked, you're like, what did you want to do?
it's hot. His
It's
dick is
hot.
swinging in the
And
breeze.
all those fuckers are probably dead within 3 months.
Oh,
I
yeah.
told them they were going to.
It's a death sentence.
Yeah.
It's a death, but they did it anyway.
And then had 700,000 people working to basically kill stuff, go around, kill all the livestock, get
Right.
people out of there, evacuate, and then do it all in like 3 months. And it's like, it was just, and the music and the way that it was shot and the coloring of each one of the scenes.
Best miniseries I've ever seen.
It was good, man.
Because I'm like you, Jamie, I'm a big history guy and everything. And then I'm like fucking one of those people. I get interested in a topic, I'll research it.
Yeah.
From every record that we have in the United States, I mean, granted, the Russians didn't really release everything.
Yeah.
But it's pretty much accurate. The guy really did kill himself later on that did this. And the tapes, I think the tapes were real. He did record
Yeah,
tapes.
they said that at the end. They said that his tapes got circulated, and they showed, of course, the footage at the end of like, it was just, there was a ton of things. And that was the same thing with totally different mockumentary, documentary, whatever, was Dirt. When you go and you watch the movie, and it's not just those two movies or series, but when you go and see the actual footage, it grounds it in such reality.
Yeah, Dirt was great with
yeah, but you're like, damn. And it sort of, it unsettles you even more.
It shocks you because you didn't think, hey, you think these things happen in movies like Dirt, like everything Jamie talks about. I still haven't seen it yet.
Yeah.
Everything you talk about, it's like with that, it's like the girls like giving blowjobs around the table. I'm like, yeah, you see it in movies and you probably know it happens, but then you see it in a documentary and it's like, fuck, that shit actually happened.
Yeah.
The one
blows
thing
your mind.
The one thing
Totally.
I liked about Dirt though was the fact that you got to know the characters, because you always like hear stories and you see like, oh yeah, it's Tommy Lee or whatever, but then you understand why he's Tommy Lee, and you understand why he's Vince Neil, and you understand why he's Mick Mars. Like it's crazy.
Real quick, I got something to say, but you can let you finish it.
No,
it's about Stranger Things. You know whose daughter is in that?
Well,
Ethan Hawke's daughter, and who's Kill Bill? What the fuck is her name?
Uma Thurman?
Uma Thurman's daughter is the girl from the love interest at the
From the ice cream place?
shop. Yep.
Oh, she's a great character, man.
Yeah, that's her daughter.
Oh, no
He
kidding.
just- you
She's the one that
up.
cracked the code.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's awesome. She is a great character. Oh, real quick, the Stranger Things, there was, you know what? I got that backwards. On Star Trek, there were two characters that were in there that seemed forced. So if you ever guys get onto the series, one was this Tig Notaro. She's a comedian, I believe. There was just two, and she was put in there, and I was like, ooh, it just doesn't fit right. And then the other character was, what's her name? Rebecca Romaine Stamos. I know she's not married to John Stamos.
She's in it now?
She was in it too. She plays number one for the Enterprise, where Captain Pike's number one was a female. So they're doing that same homage.
Not interested. This
But
is killing me.
It's like they're awkwardly fit in there, so you're like, it's a little icky. Anyway, but real quick, back to Chernobyl. I'm glad I watched it.
What do you rate it as a miniseries?
Oh, it's straight up there. I mean, the Band of Brothers is my favorite
No,
miniseries.
actually, you know what? I'm sorry. Band of Brothers 1. This would probably be 2.
Yeah, I would say that's good too.
I mean, because it's just
Both HBO motherfuckers.
No
yeah.
shit.
HBO knows how to do this shit. That's why I'm excited about
Quality.
some-
Yes.
They really are. Out of all the networks, I don't want to get too far down because I know we got to cut this short.
Yeah, we did
but
run
of
long.
all the networks that are still going, like those big core, like Cinemax Stars,
Mm-hmm.
they're really still producing some good fucking
Quality.
shows.
Yeah. It keeps them in business, man. And the thing is that they'll double down, and yes, they'll have their Game of Thrones, they'll have their Chernobyl, but then when you think the gas is out of the tank, it's like they bring up yet something else, and it keeps the.
Well, it's funny.
the
Chernobyl
interest.
and Game of Thrones, when they first released these shows, Game of Thrones wasn't like, oh my god, boo, all these trailers, you got to watch this. It just crept up on people, like people, word of mouth. Same thing with Chernobyl. Chernobyl was out for a while. I remember talking to you two about it. And
Has it been out a long time?
Yeah, Chernobyl's been out for about 2-3 months.
No shit.
And
that's
I
right.
remember talking to you
makes
guys
sense.
about it, and like it didn't start creeping up until about a month after it was already released. And
True,
it was like
true.
that's what they do. They release these. It's good content.
Yeah.
The Wire.
There
Oh,
you
fuck
go.
yeah,
The Wire.
yeah.
I still haven't seen it. It's on my bucket list.
Really good. You gotta hold up. You gotta hang in there for at least the first 2 seasons, and then you'll get your mind blown in season 3. for sure. It's good. It's real. I'm not saying their
When
first
I
two
get
seasons
time
are
on my
shit.
hands like Johnny,
Yeah,
I will.
I'll watch it for you and report back. So, anything else, gentlemen? All right, we ran long. We're probably. I'll publish this one a little earlier than usual. I'll be on vacation this week, so the next one won't come out till the following Thursday. This day being the 8th. But thank you everybody for joining us for this week's episode of the Nick, John, and Jamie Show. Please be sure to subscribe to our show on iTunes and Google Play and Stitcher and Spotify, and we're even on YouTube, at least for the time being. And if you're digging the show, leave us some kind words and a nice review. You can also follow us on Twitter. We're at NJJ Show, Instagram at NJJ Show, or if you're on the old school Facebook, we have a page up there for the Nick, John, and Jamie Show. Thanks again, everybody, and have a fantabulous week.
Did you say the Dick or Nick?
Did I say the Dick, John, and
It
Jamie?
sounded like the Dick. I don't know.
Maybe the Nick. I don't know. I'll have to listen to it.